What is good, ladies and gents? Welcome to another day of for testing. So today was a good day, in my opinion, because I followed my rules. Everything was on point. Now, I had a loss and a break even today. Yeah, these are the two trades that I took. I traded the micros, and here's why. Like, the market was kind of choppy. So let's first view how I was thinking the day could be, and then we'll go to the charts later. So today I lost around $200, $204. So let's check out. So as the day started, you can see that it was an unused Thursday. Like, we had unemployment claims, and like 30 minutes before it could happen, it was postponed. So it was supposed to happen at 2:30, then it was postponed, which is absolutely funny. Like, I didn't know they postponed news. But I actually faced that incident like a few times earlier in the year. But yeah, I'm seeing it even more, which is totally okay. And I think it's probably like an effect of the government shutdown, for which I can see that it could potentially affect the markets. Now, these were the news that we had today. Like, very, very, very low impact. Now, for the psychology check-in, I was feeling good, very grateful, and looking forward to today's trading. Nothing much. I felt like I was in my prime. Nothing was bothering me at all. Now, for the watch list, I was trading MNQ, and here's why. I wanted to trade like where I can get bigger contracts, be able to close partials, and I don't want to risk big, since I want to like compound slowly by slowly so I can finally pass my eval. So the asset I was trading was MNQ. Well, it's the same thing as ES, just the analysis of one. It's the same thing as the other, and if it's not correlating, then that's an SMT, which is a sign that helps me to trade one of them. So on the daily time frame, we were extremely bullish. Yesterday's PM session hit all-time highs, and it was still at the all-time highs. But what happened this day was very fascinating. Like, we dropped and filled the RTH gap, the regular trading hours gap that was created. We'll go into it later when we go to the charts. And then when we go to the 4-hour, I was kind of confident that this gap wouldn't get retraced to. I haven't checked if I retraced to it, but since we closed like really above, we've already like fell through it, which is totally fine. But I think it's the one that acted as the anchor of what we were thinking. So we had standard deviation targets, for which none of these were hit, but we had buy opportunities still, and sell side liquidity marked here. This one was taken out, this one and this one. Very many liquidity levels were taken out because market opened and crashed to the downside, which we'll get to again in a few minutes. So I didn't do any market check-ins. I was on the charts and had code here because I was obviously at work, but my main focus was on the charts. So I ended up taking two trades, one break even, one loser. Let's get to the charts. Right, so here are the charts. Okay, so on the daily, you can see everything that I had outlined. I was looking for bullish prices, but as the market opened, we dropped, then ended up going higher. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Actually, let's start with the 4 hour. So I went on the 4 hour. I wanted to trade the 10 a.m. expansion, for which it was offered later on. We had this 4 hour fair value gap. This one here is also another fair value gap that we didn't retrace to, but I wanted to trade inside this candle an expansion to potentially the buy side, or at least the premium. Now we go lower to the 1 hour. We actually have also a 1 hour fair value gap here. Going lower to the 1 hour, there were some PYs here, so sell side ran some SMTs, so that's why I took my trades. Now let's go to the 1 minute and put in replay mode so that we can see how I was thinking in the live market. But I don't think there's a need for replay. Actually, I don't need replay. Let's just do it like this. So market dropped right at the open from here, coming around here, dropped, ran sell side here as well, and then it created an SMT. Okay, I don't need execution. I mean replay. sorry for the internet. Now, as I was saying, we ran to the side, so I was looking for buys. Now, when we go down to 1 minute, and let's reset, scroll back. So my first entry was here. And why did I enter here? It was 25063 right here. Right here, this is where I entered. And why did I enter here? First off, this is the weekly open, I think. Actually, sorry, it was the midnight open. Why did I say the weekly open? But the weekly open is also here, somewhere lower. This one here. Now, we were close to the midnight open, and it was showing buy potentials. So here we have an inversion. Here we create another one, then we shift, and then retracement into the gap. Like it was two models in one. So I'm currently like adding to my arsenal another good model, like an inversion model. So I have 3 models as of now. I had 4, which included the forever model, but the forever model didn't really work for me. Not that it doesn't work, but it couldn't fit with my trading, so I removed it, and I'm now having 3, like the fair value gap and order block reversal model, the inversion model, and the ICT 2022 model. So here, like the two models were colliding. Actually 3: order block, fair value gap, shift, retracements, like everything was made correctly. But then after entering, I saw that we had too much liquidity here, and opening ES at this exact time, like ES was forming SMT. So I was like, okay, we could draw higher, but I can't ignore the possibility that we still have lows, too much liquidity here that has to be taken out. And then by this time, like here when I entered, ES hadn't formed the SMTs yet. But here when I was thinking of exiting, was because first off, we had an SMT at the highs here, and then price was like had already started to show some signs of dropping on ES. So it's like, okay, I can find a better entry instead of this one, because I think this low can be run at least one more time, because these lows are so smooth. Then I wait again, and then I see a retracement into this gap and the 4-hour gap, which is this line here. I was like, okay, this shows that we could be about to go higher. And we also had an SMT here. This one I marked it later, but we also had an SMT here from here to here, and yes, there was an SMT. So I was like, okay, now I can enter. So I ended up entering again, for which I entered, where did I enter? Somewhere around there, 25067, 67, right there. Now my stop was somewhere around here, and take profit was okay. My first target was this gap here, but my other target was also this gap here, because it was discount of this whole, it was premium of this whole move. So I would move to break even, probably take some partials here, but then price into what I thought it could do ended up stopping me out right here. I traded my stop after price reached here, I trailed it to this low, and then got stopped out right exactly there. And later in the day, it ended up delivering sweep, shift, retest of the fair value gap, first model, second model, sweep, order block, fair value gap, retracement, second model. Let's go to the third model now. Push higher, inversion, closure above the inversion, entry, stop, wait for a couple time, the price ends up delivering, which is a really good trade. So let's review it, and we will be done with the trade review. So this trade here, like, was going to break even. I made like around 185, and I reversed, and yeah, I think it was like a 3.5 setup. So let's fill this up real quick, and then we will be back. Right, so here is the trade review. Let me switch the screens. Right, come on. Okay, so this is the trade review. The first one was $8. This first execution that I showed. The second one was a loss of 204. So I'll go over this real quick. So I took this trade because I had a strong bullish bias, and everything was looking right And the lesson I learned from this trade is that patience is key, and detaching from the outcome is really good. Like, the outcome was bad, okay, it was red, but I'm grateful for what I did, how I analyzed, how I entered, and all of that. Now for the next trade, like, the good thing about it was the trade management and composure that I had. I was really calm, and I let the probabilities play out, which is extremely good. And the lesson is that sometimes you'll get a loss even though you did everything right. But the good thing is that you got and did everything right. That's where your dopamine should come from. So I think that's all for the trade review. We've lost a few bags, first trade of the month, but it's really okay. And we'll talk in the next one. Stay blessed.